What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be reviewing a couple of figures here, the Weijiang KO Toyworld car combiner figures. So it's sort of it's a KO of a KO, not really. So Toyworld made these, and they weren't these size, they were actually smaller, the original Throttlebots. And they were actually pretty good figures, but they were unlicensed Autobots, so they were technically third-party Autobots. And they were good, but they were a little too small relative to Masterpiece size. And when combined into combine mode, they were also a little too small when compared to some of the Masterpiece combiners. So along comes Weijiang, and they decide, hey, you know what? We're going to knock off this knockoff of the Throttlebots. Now, I couldn't find any images of these guys, the Throttlebots, combining in any of the G1 cartoon. It may have been in a comic. I believe there was a combination that happened in the comic, but as far as the G1 cartoon, these guys never combined. So, so this isn't, technically a knockoff of a real G1 figure, but at the same time, it's pretty cool what they've done. The Toyworld, at least originally, decided to make these guys look somewhat like their G1 counterparts in the cartoon, but yet they did some real-world changes to it. So it's interesting. So we'll kind of go into each one of these. I only have the 4, so I haven't received all of these figures yet. There's one more. I think its name is Sideload. That's the big Hummer-type vehicle. And also, there's been one more figure. It's blue and it hasn't come out yet. And I think its name is Freeway, but they haven't actually made it yet, so waiting to get that. And also, there's the kit or the complete set to combine all this stuff together. They don't combine as is. You need a separate kit to do that. So we're going to review all of that over the next few weeks or so. I'm probably going to do one figure at a time here, just so you guys can get a feel for each figure individually, the quality, the size. Now, I just wanted to tell you what I get with these. First of all, these didn't come with a box. The seller that I purchased these from on eBay had a much lower price. I think it was like $12.99 plus $2 shipping, something like that. So $15 each, $15 for these Transformers shipped. So no box. They did come with instructions, and we're going to go over these instructions. They're very, very, very simple, obviously made by Weijiang. So we'll look at those. And they did come with these stickers. So repro labels, essentially, to make these guys into Autobots, because that's what they were. It also came with... Now, each of these guys has a weapon attached underneath, or as part of it, or on the back in this case. This one has one underneath, this one has one underneath, and this one has underneath. But 3 of them came with these swords. So, I don't know, these are kind of lame. They're not great. They're really sort of flimsy. They don't mount anywhere, and they're alright. I just don't see any need for these, especially since they all have their own weapons. So we'll look at these in robot mode, but they kind of really don't have a lot of purpose here. And then the last thing we have here is a little note that I got, and it was actually taped to this guy. Unfortunately, it was actually taped to the roof. So not a good idea to tape. You can actually see there's a little bit of sticky material still left. So it did come with a little note that says, the 2 mirrors are fragile. Be sure not to use strength on them. Thanks. So I guess people are breaking these, especially the Weijiang ones, since these are bigger. Probably on the smaller version, these weren't sticking out that far, but now that this has been enlarged or oversized, these are probably a little more fragile. I mean, they're not too bad, but if you drop it or hit it, it's probably going to break. So that's really all that came with this. And they came packaged in little plastic baggies. This one did have some styrofoam to protect the mirrors, but other than that, they were all in little plastic baggies, and then inside of a styrofoam case. I didn't show that just because it wasn't really any purpose to that. So each of these guys are kind of a modern day version of the Throttlebots. So what we're going to do is take a look at these guys individually. I'll put out a video roughly one a day or so, or maybe 2 days, and we'll go over every single one of these characters, including Side Load, which I'm receiving soon, and also Freeway, which is going to be coming about a month from now. So we'll do it all together. We'll also show it in combined mode. Hopefully we get that kit, the kit that lets them combine. All right, so let's take a look at the first figure here. We'll get these other guys out of the way. And this guy is what I would consider a Jeep Liberty. Let's take a quick look and put a picture up here of the original G1 character. So this is Rollbar. I'm not going to use the Toyworld names just because what's the point? These are KOs of KOs, I guess. So this is Rollbar from the original G1 cartoon, and it actually does kind of look like this guy. I mean, he did look like a little Jeep, but what's really cool about this is it's very nicely painted. So they painted the grill here. They've got headlights and fog lights. They've got turn signals here. The door handles and the side view mirrors are painted. The back, you've got the tires painted. This can be removed as part of the transformation. It actually becomes the weapon, which is really cool. I like that they did that. Now, I can't give Weijiang any credit because this is all designed by Toyworld, but all the paint on this KO is really nicely done. You can see on the bottom even the paint, which I don't think this even shows up in vehicle mode. So, or sorry, in robot mode, it's just painted to look like an axle, which is it's cool that they thought about that. You know, they just put a little thought into, hey, let's put the extra detail here. Someone looks at the bottom and it's going to look like an axle. That's pretty neat. So I really like this vehicle mode. Now let's just take a quick comparison with our ever faithful blue streak here, or streak, I'm sorry. And in terms of height, he's a little bit higher, which makes sense. He's a Jeep. This was a Japanese sports car. In terms of length, it is very close to length. In terms of width, it's a little bit wider, so all that kind of makes sense. And here's where it doesn't make sense. The tires are just ginormous. They're huge. That scale just doesn't make sense in terms of this being a car versus this being a Jeep. I think that's just way too big, but it's okay. I still like the scale. I like the fact that it's bigger than the Toyworld version. Now here's red body Bumblebee. Now this makes no sense. This car was nowhere near this small compared to a Jeep like this. So scale's a little bit off, but other than some of the figures, it's okay. Now let's just weigh this guy really quick. So he comes in at 6 ounces, 6¼ ounces. So pretty decent guy. He's a little heavier than Streak here. Oops. And let's take a look at the size. He's about 6 inches long, about a little short of 3 inches tall, and roughly 3 inches wide from wheel to wheel. So pretty good size. I think he's a little big for a masterpiece if you had to ask me, but I don't think he fits in with any other scale or any other thing. I see a little bit of stuff on the windshield here. That's not good. So there's a little bit of scrapes on there. Not a big deal. It's kind of all over. But overall, it really does look good. It's got a nice color plastic. Now, it is swirled plastic like you expect from some of the cheaper stuff. You got swirls in it. It's not bad, to be honest. It's got that little bit of gold sheen to it, which makes it look kind of cool as a gold/greenish truck. So it looks good. By the way, it does roll just fine, no problem. It looks good. Now, there's really nothing else in vehicle mode, so let's get this guy transformed into robot mode. I'm not going to go over the transformation, other than to maybe talk about some of the joints if there was issues during transformation, so we'll talk about that afterwards. But we're going to go from vehicle mode to robot mode, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back from transforming this guy. It's actually kind of a fun transformation. Now, obviously, that's not to be credited to Weijiang. That's obviously Toyworld's design, but it really is, you know, kind of a cool transformation, a cool transformer overall. It looks cool. It looks like I got something wrong here. These panels kind of slide out, so you sort of have to fold them up. But anyway, it really is a cool transformation. I like the way it transforms. It's unique, and this guy is super tight. All of his joints now. If you're wondering if he can be posed, there you go. He's very posable. Now we'll go over articulation on this guy and each individual. I just want to show the instructions real quick. So this is what you get. It says Justice and Liberty. So I think that's the name of the whole series. It's called Justice and Liberty because on every instruction sheet has that. Now it does have fairly good instructions. They're not great. This is not a copy of what Toyworld gave you. It's Weijiang's own little instructions. It does have warnings here. It says contains small parts, be hazardous to children under 6. And then down here it has some pretty funny introduction. Just getting close so you can read that. It says, introduce. Over the years, Power Robot has proved himself to be not only a great leader, but also one of the most powerful warriors in the universe. He is trained in the use of a host. I'm assuming that's supposed to say host. It says comma OST. Host any weapon, incorporating them into his combat tactics without effort. He is a walking arsenal with unstoppable combat. So lots of typos, and obviously the translation from Chinese to English didn't come across, but really quite nice instructions. It's detailed, it's colored. There's nothing on the back, it's just blank, so that's really all you get. It doesn't even tell you the name of this guy, but we know him to be Rollbar. So not bad for instructions. It's good enough for what we need to do. And now here's the figure. Let's back out again here. He really does look good. There's a lot of good paint on him, so let's talk about that for a second. Now, I don't think it's unique to the fact that it's Weijiang. I think it's just that's the way it was originally designed. So you got some silver paint here on the inside here, some detail here that is really quite nice. I don't know if the original had that or not. Maybe we'll post an image of the original Toyworld one here. But it's really nicely painted. It looks really good. I like the way this guy looks. Now let's go over articulation real quick. So his head does rotate. You don't really get a good look at the head sculpt here. It's pretty good. It's not light piped, which is good. I actually prefer it to be painted. It has a little bit of up and down, but not really, because that's meant for transformation. So mostly you just get rotation. You don't get any up and down. You're just fine. I'm okay with that. Now his feet are not articulated, so it's kind of sometimes hard to get him to stand sort of, flat-footed. Like if you wanted to do him like that, he sort of ends up with this non-flat-footed pose, which is fine. You can get him, you can get it to work, but because he doesn't have ankle articulation, it doesn't work. Now this is the gun. You just basically fold these out, and that's what you get. And you have to plug it into this hand here. So these side arm panels, they're meant to fold back like this for robot mode, and they kind of sit like that. But I kind of think they look better forward just because they're not sticking out. But anyway, this does fit right over that. Yeah, that's good. So that fits great, and it looks good. It's a good weapon. It's a well done, nicely painted rim. It's painted just like the others, so it's convincing as a spare tire. But yeah, overall paint job very nice. I like that they blacked out the windows instead of making them translucent black. It says painted black. That's very nice. They've got the wipers here. In general, in bot mode, there's plenty of detail on him to keep him interesting. I do find this a little bit annoying. You know, it kind of rocks because his ankles aren't flat to the ground. Let's talk about articulation. So his head is on a swivel. You don't really get any up and down motion. That's more before the transformation. So that's pretty much all you get. He does have a ball jointed arm bicep, and this is also on a butterfly joint as part of the transformation. So you get you can get it all the way up to there. So that's really nice. Now again, I don't know. I think this is all based off of the original Toyworld toy, so you know, I'm not 100% sure. You do have a bicep swivel. Everything's tight, by the way, every single joint. You do have a single jointed elbow. You get a full 90-degree bend there. And for the hand, you do get a swivel on the wrist, and that's it. There's no articulation on the actual fingers or anything like that. As far as the other hand, it is an open hand. It's not articulated, but it's same thing. It swivels, but it's just molded as an open hand. So I like that. Looks cool. You do get a waist swivel here. It is not restricted in any way. You got ball jointed hips here, so you get the full back and forth all the way out to the side. And that's nice. You do get a bicep swivel. You also get what actually is a double jointed knee, so you can get them all the way up like that. And it's for transformation, so it's a little weird. You kind of got like a double bend there, but got plenty of articulation there. You don't get anything on the ankles. Now that's the main issue with this guy, is there's no ankle articulation, and that's what makes it a little tough to pose. But overall, a very good looking bot, nice tight joints, pretty much all the articulation you would want in a robot. Now we do get these repro labels for the Autobot symbols. Maybe we'll put this on here. We'll take a look at what he looked like in the original and try to post it up in the corner here. So based on the original G1 cartoon, it looks like he had a sticker, or sorry, an Autobot symbol right in the middle of his chest here. So I guess that's what we'll put it. He also had it on his doors, the side of his doors. So maybe we'll take a look at doing that too. Put one there as well. Now they did give us two different sizes when they shipped, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I got these smaller ones like that, three of them, one with each of the other figures, and then the gold blood figure came with 4 big ones. So I don't know if it was supposed to come with that, or if these are intended for different spots on the figure or what, but you know, I guess you could go with the bigger one like this, or you could have a smaller one. Maybe the smaller one might be better on the side door panel. It's really, and I'm not sure how well this is going to adhere, because you got this surface here where it's got ridges, so that might not, the bigger one might not adhere very well, or maybe the smaller one won't adhere, I don't know. So let's apply these stickers. I like my figures to have Autobot stickers, and this is just a regular old sticker here. It's not a press and rub or whatever you want to call it. These stickers aren't great, so they got a little extra material on the side there, which is kind of throwing me off. It does match the figure, which is nice, right? The gray background kind of matches, but it's a little meh. I don't know. It's not exactly what I would want. We can also put a smaller one here on the door of the Jeep, which kind of matches the G1 figure. So we could take this guy here, the little one, and put it right here on the door. I'm going to hold off on doing that. I think that maybe after I get all these guys back into vehicle mode, maybe I'll take a look at applying those stickers. But here's the chest sticker, and it's not bad. It looks pretty good. I just don't like the fact that it has the extra material on the right side. It's a little sloppy on the KO company's cart. Oops. Yeah, that's what I mean by these legs. They're just a little bit. They're not that secure because he's not flat-footed. But overall, I really like this guy. You know, for what was it? I think it was $12.99 plus $2 shipping, so $16 total shipped. Is just incredible for a nice figure like this. Now let's take a comparison to another Masterpiece figure and see how he stacks up. So just to be consistent with Streak, we've got Prowl, the same mold here. We'll kind of stand them up together. Forgot this guy is a KO, so he's kind of wonky. Alright, so standing kind of shoulder to shoulder, and he doesn't want to stand flat-footed, but whatever. They are about even, actually. They're pretty much the same height. If you just put them flat-footed, and oh, I forgot how bad this guy was. This KO Prowl's just got really loose joints. This one doesn't, by the way. This is super tight. So pretty much dead even shoulder height. If you want a measurement, you got about 6.5 inches to the top of his head. A little short of 6 3/4 to the top of this back panel here, which I think looks cool like that. So overall, good size, a perfect size for my Masterpiece shelf. I think it really looks good. I like the bulk and the you know, kind of chunkiness of this guy. It just looks really cool. I think they were kind of chunky in the original toy as well. The cartoon, I don't know, not so much, but still, I just like the way they designed this. Now, there was no vehicle that this was sort of matched more with the Jeep Liberty, like a modern day vehicle. They weren't going for any particular vehicle. I don't think Toy World actually had any vehicle in mind. They were just kind of going for a generic look. But as far as Jeep Liberties go, I think this is pretty close. It looks cool, and I like the turnout. I'm really happy with this guy. So that is it for the KO Rollbar figure. We're gonna kind of get into the other figures as well. We'll probably do one every week here. We'll do one every week here leading up to the full combined mode, and we'll kind of have a final reveal with all of the figures. That's it for today, guys. Please leave me any comments, leave me any questions if you want to know more about these guys. They're readily available on tfdirect.com or on eBay. I actually buy from eBay because it's just cheaper and shipping is generally included with the figures. My typical seller on eBay doesn't have this. You had to go to some different guys, so you kind of had to take a chance on somebody and hope that they're a good seller. Unfortunately, this guy is straight from China. You know, that's what KOs come from. So if you don't want to do that, go to TF Direct and get a trusted source. If you're willing to play the game of pick the best seller, you can go to eBay. All right, guys, so leave me any comments. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time.